Hi, everyone. My name is Alex Lyon, and I'm one of the lawyers here at the law firm of Lane, Hupp and Crowley. I have two partners, Jonathan Hupp and Kevin Crowley. I have 20 years experience. Kevin has 15 and John has 10. And what I want to talk to you today is about it's kind of cases in general, but it's a pre-charge case, or what we would call it a pre-charge. So oftentimes we get a call from a prospective client who's just been under investigation for something, or has just been interviewed by the police or contacted by the police. Or maybe there was a car accident the night before, and there might be charges stemming from that. And it's very important in those situations, we believe, to engage a lawyer as quickly as possible before a charging decision has been made about the case. And the reason why is because as a prosecutor myself, the first 3 years of my career, I was a prosecutor. And I'll tell you what the process we used then. It's called a submittal. So if a police officer submits a case to a prosecutorial agency, to the Maricopa County Attorney's Office, you get the police report and you get a little form to fill out, that's got the charges so you read the report and then you fill out the charges that you think are appropriate. You then sign it, you hand it off to your secretary, and then he then prepares the complaint and it gets filed. But the thing about police reports, so if your name is on a police report and it's sitting in a basket, and we call them basket cases because you're supposed to turn them around every 30 days. If it's an in-custody case, like a homicide or something, they would literally bring it to you, hand it to you, and they would wait outside your office until you were done because you'd had to charge it before the person was released from custody. But if it's a case where there isn't a time constraint, it's referred to as a basket case. So the prosecutors would, get out these cases and read the police reports, look at what the charges are that the officer has submitted on, and the prosecutor essentially has a couple options. One is they can charge exactly what the officer thinks the person should be charged with if the prosecutor feels that's appropriate, or they can charge something else. Maybe they charge something lower, or maybe the prosecutor notices, hey, there's something else that he didn't ask for here, but it happens, so I'm going to add that charge. Or the prosecutor can do something that we would call a further, meaning you look at the police report and there's some information that is not yet there. So it would often come up in a vehicular case where maybe there was an accident and the person's blood was tested, but the blood result isn't there yet, or more commonly, the medical records of the person who was injured are not there. So you might fill out you might check on the form, you check the box further, and then you would list the question, what you wanted answered from the officer. The report would then go back to the detective. The detective would then resubmit it at some later date, and you'd review it then. Or a prosecutor can turn the case down. It's called a turn down, where they read it and say, look, I understand that these are the charges that were submitted, but I don't think that there's a reasonable likelihood of conviction. I don't think we can prove this. There's not enough evidence, or for whatever reason, the prosecutor can say, I don't think that the report can sustain these charges that were requested, or maybe any charges, and they turn it down. So what's important for the person whose name is on that police report, if your name is on a police report in a basket at the Maricopa County Attorney's Office, it doesn't say flattering things about you. It doesn't present, it was written by the detective or by the arresting officer. And sometimes there's information that you would want to have presented to the prosecutor before they make a charging decision. It could be either, hey, look, my guy didn't do it at all, and here's the reasons why. You would like to have that presented. Or it could be, maybe something happened, but you might be reviewing it for this charge. You really should think about this lower charge. It could be any number of things. Like in a vehicular case, we will have our own investigator. If it's immediate, we would want our investigator to go look at the vehicles, which are probably in evidence at that point, to do his own reconstruction of what happened. So, they can look at a report much differently because they've written many reports, and they can see, look, if this were my case, here are the pieces of evidence that I would have collected that were not collected. This is a statement I would have taken that was not taken. they can then go back, and then that gives you something to present to the prosecutor. And the expert that you use, and you should have this conversation with your defense lawyer, how credible is that expert, right? Because what are you trying to do? You're trying to get the prosecutor in this phase of the case to either charge lower charges or not charge at all. So you want to use someone that has a reputation that the prosecutor will listen to. Well, who better than the detective that the prosecutor relied on previously on cases that he worked with? Once someone makes a decision about what they think a case is, it's much harder to talk them out of that position than it is if you can get in there before the decision has been made, before they've already committed to a position, and then present your stuff. Because in some of these cases, we present stuff to the prosecutor and charges never get filed. Other times they do get filed, right? But it is an opportunity that I personally would certainly want to take if I were ever under investigation for something, to try to get to the prosecutor as quickly as I can with your version. That doesn't mean that you should go talk to him by yourself. It just means that it can be framed for the prosecutor. So anyway, again, my name is Alex Lane, and I'm one of the lawyers here at Lane, Hupp and Crowley. If you find yourself in that circumstance, or somebody that you care about is in that circumstance, please give us a call. We'd be happy to chat with you. Thank you.